Woo. Alright guys, so it's up. So we're out here on another run. Out here doing this craziness for all you guys who simply sit back, watch, whoa, and admire, enjoy, right? Because, you know, this is what we do. We go and run and do this craziness for all you guys to sit back and enjoy. And in particular, we're gonna go into today's video topic, and that is warming up, right? Getting the juices flowing for your workout. Right? So many people skip this, right? They don't take this into consideration, right? For what it is that they're doing, right? They just go straight into the heavy lifting, and you know that's a big no-no for many, right? That should be a mistake, but so many people don't realize it until it's too late, until you know they get hurt or something bad happens, right? They pull a muscle or tear it, God forbid. So don't worry, because we're gonna give you 4 reasons why warming up is important. I already gave you one, right? That is that it prevents injuries, very specifically if you're stretching, right? Having an average stretching routine. Right? Far too many people don't realize this, that our muscles are like rubber bands. They need to be stretched out before use, right? It would just be like if you tried to make a rubber band into a slingshot, right? Put some big, heavy rocks and try to shoot them, you know, fire them into the air and so forth. But, you know, far too many times, you know, you have to have it ready. If you stretch it out a little bit, it'll be ready to go. But, whoa, as we lost our train of thought real quick, far too many people neglect this. And if you just jump to something super heavy, right, you start to bench 2 plates, 3 plates, trying to impress everybody around you without going through the proper steps and allocating them. Oh, I'll get out of the way. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna hurt yourself, right? You're gonna look like a fool in front of everybody. And oftentimes, you know, had you just simply taken 5-10 minutes, warm up, get ready, all that madness and chaos could have been prevented. Right? So just do that, right? Take that into account. Stretch 5-10 minutes, put on a good song, and you know it'll feel like nothing, right? Like clockwork, essentially. So do that. And you know, tip number 2, as far as why warming up, stretching out is important, is because it gets you going. It gets you ready to flow. Because, you know, if you don't, you just jump straight into things, you're not gonna be ready, right? Your heart rate's not gonna be high enough, right? It's not gonna be, you know, as easy, right? Just like when you start running, your heart rate goes up, right? That's only what happens. But, you know, far too often, we try to do too much too quickly, right? We run into the gym, pick up super heavy dumbbells, right? Try to impress somebody, impress a girl, whoever's there, our friends, our fraternity, whoever we're around, and essentially mess up, right? Because had we stretched out our biceps, the blood would have been already rushing there, right? They'll be ready to handle the heavier loads, right? Your body, you know, well, you already have the proper breathing patterns, right? Which is what it takes in order to do it, right? To get there. But if you skip it, you know, working out is simply not gonna do the stretching for you. You have to set aside the time for it, the time to do it, right? They're not, you know, like an end-all be-all, right? The working out doesn't solve both issues. It only magnifies one of them or the other. So really take that into consideration and do that, right? Because that's so important, right? And it may not really seem like the case, but you know, as we'll mention now, the third tip is that if you don't stretch, it'll catch up with you in the long run. Because if you don't stretch, injuries and wear and tear specifically will accumulate in your body, right? For runners, it could be runner's knee. For tennis players, it's tennis elbow. Right? That's why you see all those professional athletes having strict routines, right? For when they go out and play, because they realize that when they have to put the strain and loads on their body and perform at peak levels, they have to have a proper warm-up. But you're never gonna see a LeBron James or Rafael Nadal simply go out and play in the biggest match of their life, right? Show up 15-20 minutes before the match and get going, right? They have a specific routine. They're there hours before the match because they have specific processes that they have to do. And if they skip them, you know, they're not going to perform how they want to, right? That's going to be only that much harder, right? Because they have to calibrate their body, right? Get used to, you know, the layout, right? How, you know, the dimensions of the net and court and so forth, right? All that takes time. It takes a warm-up. So when you're out there in a gym, you have to get used to the setting, right? Where everything is, the proper motions you got to do in order to lift that weight or run or, you know, move your body in order to get those fitness goals done. But, you know, had you not done them, it's gonna be a total shock. You know, your body's gonna freak out and can even tighten up, right? That's even when you start to see cramps and big problems like that, right? Scary issues that could have been prevented, you know, had you done the proper warm-up, right? And especially as you get older in age, you hit your 30s, 40s, 50s, as your body slows down, you're gonna have to keep, you know, taking care of it. And the way you take care of it is through those warm-ups, right? Those routines, right? That's what's gonna keep you going for all those years, right? Without having to go through so many surgeries and so forth, right? Even those surgeries, you know, to have a toll on us, right? They have an impact, right? They make it harder to repeat those same motions that we did when we were younger, right? They're not designed, you know, to specifically let us replicate them exactly. It's only like a bandage on the wound, right? It may cover up the wound, protect it, but the wound is still there, and it still hurts to touch and move, right? It's only, you know, alleviated ever so slightly. So really do that, really stretch, and, you know, down the road, your body will thank you, right? It'll give you a nice pat on the back and let you keep performing for years to come. So the fourth benefit of a proper warm-up in particular, right, when you're going out here and exercising in particular, is that it accentuates your gains, right? Because when you warm up, you're gonna be able to lift more weight, right? Because you're already gonna be going, juices will be flowing, right? So if you just lift a little more today, tomorrow you'll be able to lift a little more and a little more, right? The more you can lift today, the more you can lift tomorrow, and from that, you know, you'll be able to lift even more and even more, right? So it's almost like a compound effect, right? People like to think of that term, you know, when it comes to stocks, right? They can make 8% a year as opposed to 2-3% over 10 years. That's going to be a crazy amount of benefit. But if you're able to get better at the gym, you know, 2%, 3% a day, that's good. But if you only bump it up to 5% over the course, you know, months to years, that's really gonna add up. And if you're stretching, that's gonna help you get that little benefit, right? Stretching and warming up. Because if you don't, you're gonna lift less today. And if you lift less today, you lift less tomorrow. Because the more we lift, the more our bodies get accustomed to. And we only have a limited amount of times to work out, right? We're not on this earth forever, right? We all live and die. There's only a set number of workouts you have to do. So, you know, with that in mind, take it, right? Figure out ways that you could get yourself going and on your way towards your objective. So, those are the 4 reasons why warming up is so important. But we hope that you're able to do that, right? Follow in our footsteps and hopefully, possibly be on the right track in order to hit your fitness objectives. So, as always, we say thank you very much and goodbye.